Morelli, and I do mixed media in the loosest form of saying that. Basically, I deconstruct electronics and I mount them on canvases. I've been doing it for about 4 years now. I've deconstructed things always, but I just started putting them on canvases because I figured I can twice the amount of time that I get to play with each object if I have to take it apart and then put it back together on something else. How I got into my art was I've always kind of done arty stuff. Basically, as soon as I figured out what a Phillips head did, I was taking apart everything in my house when I was little, and I would get yelled at all the time because I like to just take things apart. So after I joined the military, I was working on helicopters, and I didn't have to do that anymore because I was already deconstructing electronics on helicopters. And then after I got out of the military, I basically kind of felt like I needed to start doing that again. And I went ahead and started doing deconstructing stuff and then putting on canvases. So that's how I got into it. I've been doing it for, yeah, like I said, 4 years, and I just now started doing stuff with it because it's taking over my house and I gotta get it out of there, so. My inspiration for my art is basically, I feel like when I can't deconstruct interpersonal relationships or other situations in my life, which I can't find, you know, meaning or why things are messed up, I like to deconstruct electronics because I feel like, especially with the older stuff, when you take it apart, these are objects that you play with and you interact with and you depend on in your daily life, and you have no idea what's going on inside of them. So I like to be able to open them up and kind of figure out this goes to this, and when I drop my phone, it breaks because this probably comes off of this and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I do that. So I just deconstructed a record player, and I am so excited about this because it's all mechanical. It's the first thing I've ever opened up, and basically it's all just mechanical parts. There's no circuit boards whatsoever. So that's kind of awesome because it's like I opened it up and you can look inside of the record player and look at the knobs, and you can move the knobs and actually see that this rod goes to this and it hooks over here and it's in this little gear and it controls this. So it's kind of cool just looking at it because, first of all, when on the old stuff, you get to see the fingerprints of the people who made it. Like today, everybody's wearing gloves and, you know, it's all manufactured by a committee and, you know, there's plans and a million people touch the product before you see it. But back then it was like a craft. And so basically it was one person that was basically making the same part, or maybe two people making the same piece of whatever electronic it was. And so that's why I like the older stuff. That record player turned out to be from 1968. So that's pretty rad. I like the old stuff a lot. I wish I had more old stuff to take care of. My goal with my art is to just make people think. I really want for people to kind of take a look at what's inside of what you're using every single day. Basically, I just want them to reanalyze all of their interactions that they have, and maybe if you can kind of figure out something that's in this little object, then maybe it'll help you figure out things in your basic life. But my goal overall is to eventually one day get commissioned to do some pieces for either Las Vegas or the airport, where I get to take apart a bunch of slot machines and do like a series of like this generation slot machine, take it all apart, and then this generation slot machine, take it all apart, and have a big installation someplace swaggy. I'm showing, basically with the space provided, I think I'm gonna try and just do like a gallery type situation. I've got a whole bunch of little tiny pieces because that's how I start off and that's how I play with paint. I'm really big with playing with the paint, playing with the different kinds of things that you can mix it with and the different colors and everything. And I like seeing something in real life and trying to kind of duplicate it on my own because I just want to figure out how that, I'm trying to deconstruct how the artist made that on the canvas. So I'm playing that, so I end up with a bunch of little pieces, and so that's why I think I'm gonna bring here is all my little pieces, because then that way I get to show a lot, but I get to, you know, best utilize the space I'm given. I'm really excited about it. I like a lot of the people that I've met tonight. So I think RAW is an excellent opportunity for people who are just starting out to get their name out there. Artists are such weird people because basically we're not very social, we're kind of very reclusive. That's how we end up spending a lot of our time working on art instead of, you know, going out and playing with others. I like how RAW kind of brings us all together, and they're encouraging us to talk to one another and to work together, and I like that. I think artists need that. I'm ANGIE MORELLI and I'm a RAW artist.